See, one of the things that winds up happening though with you, because you have one crew, is that that's your only profit. So like
Yeah.
you do need to freaking cover the coaching, you got to cover the marketing, you got to cover whatever expenses you have, and you have to cover the payroll, and you got to make money. So how much can you really squeeze out of that orange, bro? What's going on, good people of the world? Here with Durant, Foote, Unlimited Painting. Just want to let you guys know I met Durant at PCA Expo. He's going to be a heavy hitter in the space. I'm excited to see what we come up with in this episode here. Happy to serve you, my friend. Before we dive in, Durant's already diving in. Before we dive in, guys, don't forget 31 Days of Value book is available on Amazon. So make sure you go support that. It's got a great mission, great message behind it. Everything that I teach is mostly in here. So if you want to check that out, find it on Amazon. Durant, thanks for joining me, my friend. I always kick these off with
Absolutely, man.
one simple question, brother. What's going really well, and what's an area that needs some
Damn.
attention and focus?
Focus really needs like organization and production.
Okay,
I feel like I've got the sales kind of down. I mean, I do pretty good with my sales. It's just the whole other side of it, right? So I've kind of got it set up to where I've got my nephew working.
cool.
Him and I need some help with the production because I'm not very organized guy and he's not a very organized guy. What I have going for me is he is customers love him, right? They
Sure.
absolutely love him. He's just not organized. So I can't really rely on him to get colors, get the
Cool.
schedule correct, kind of all that kind of
All
stuff.
right, cool, cool. So let's dive into that. First, break down how the company's built on the production side, right? Tell me, what's your nephew's name so we can address him?
Jaden.
Jaden.
Yep.
Awesome. So is he like the quote unquote project manager?
Yes.
Good deal. All right. And Jaden's a project manager. And then what's the teams look like? Subs or employees?
So I got one W-2 team and then the rest will be subs. So right now during winter, we're all just employees. But
Okay.
as we move into spring and summer, we'll be doing
All right.
subcontractors.
So right now you have how many people are on the W-2 team?
We got 2 plus Jaden, and then we'll add
So
1 more.
Jaden's actually doing some work.
As of right now, yes.
Okay, good deal. All right. So if we're having organization issues right now, obviously it's going to be a big problem when we got to figure them out, right? I mean, I think with one job a week or two jobs a week, it shouldn't be that crazy. So let's figure out what the customer journey looks like, and then I can help you identify some areas where the organization might need to be fixed. So, what's the workflow? Okay, so you go out, you do the estimate, right? You're using DripJobs. We know
Yep.
that. All right, cool. So you send that estimate, or you close it on the spot. Which one are you currently doing?
Trying to close on the spot, obviously, and then using the pipeline to help me follow up.
Good deal. All right. So once that happens, let's talk about communication. Okay. So where is communication happening right now for the business?
Really all through me. So I'll do the handoff day of the job. Hey, this is Jaden. Now, obviously,
Okay.
during the sales process, he's introduced.
Well, slow down. I
Um,
meant like team communication. Where's that happening right now?
like between me and Jaden,
Yeah. Like, how do you guys communicate all day?
just through text message, phone
Good.
call.
That's one of our biggest problems. So if there's 100% of what we need to fix, 50% of that's going to be resolved simply by having a communication tool where everyone can communicate throughout the day. That's number one, right? So think about it like this. If you had a physical office, imagine there's no conference room where people actually get together and communicate, right? That just breaks the system, right? Imagine if no one can communicate with more than one person, right? That's kind of what's happening. So we want to implement Slack into the business. So look up Slack.
I'm familiar.
Okay. So what does that really look like, right? So why is that even important? Okay. So the first thing is let's think about Jaden's position, right? So let's think about what has to happen the minute you sell a job, right? So the first thing that needs to happen is you need to tell him you sold a job, right? Like that's number one, right? So
Yeah.
he doesn't know, right? You could sell a job right now. That physical effort of you saying, "Hey, Jaden, I sold a job." Okay. So does Jaden have access to DripJobs?
No,
Okay. So how does he get the customer's information?
that would all be through me. So again, text messaging. Yeah.
Okay. So you got to text the phone number. You got to text the email. You got to text the address. You got to text the scope of work, maybe the work order. Is that all correct?
Yep.
Okay. So you got to get all those things to Jaden. One of the problems with that is, of course, is that it's in one text thread. So you're also telling him different instructions. Hey, man, you got to do this on this job. You're kind of like coaching him from afar. So that customer gets moved up the chain and then he forgets and then he doesn't follow up or that customer doesn't answer. What a mess. Right. So I'm just kind of dissecting this for you. You probably know this, but like it kind of just shows you how much work you're doing. I know you're like moving at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I can tell. I know that.
Yeah.
I'm beating you. So what winds up happening is you knock down the wall. You need somebody behind you to pick up the pieces. But the problem is that like, like you're moving at such a speed, you need to install some systems. So the first thing is we need Slack. Now, what can you do with Slack? There's a few things you can do. The first thing you can do is you can create a channel in Slack for each project. Okay. What's great about that is I don't know if you're familiar with the channeling system in like these types of apps. It's becoming popular, but that's one of the cool things about Slack. So if you sell a job in DripJobs, you can create an automation to create a channel for that job. So all the communication for that specific job happens in that channel. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yep.
Right? So another thing that we can install is actually in DripJobs. So in your jobs pipeline, one of the things we can add is a colors confirmed stage. Now, what does that mean? Well, your customer has to go through that journey. So let's kind of rewind. You sell the job. You tell Jaden, hey, I sold a job. What is Jaden's responsibility from that point forward?
Ordering paint and then customer communication from there, and then obviously
Okay.
performing the job.
So ordering paint. All right. So what about that big color gap, right? That's like it never just goes from come on, like we gotta slow down, right? Because colors. So what does the color situation look for your customers? What does that look like?
Depending if they want a color consultant or not, I really just leave it on to them. Unfortunately, I've got to get a better system there
We're here to
to
talk about
where.
so
Okay.
who's doing the color consultation?
Her name's Jeannie. She works at the paint store. She's
How
like
does she
half
get the
retired.
information?
She just goes there, and then the customer's left with the information.
No, how does she get
The customer's information,
Yep,
text message.
got it.
Yeah.
So are you sending the work order at least?
No.
Okay, so that's an instant win. Just send her the work order link. It's got all the customer's information on there, right?
Yep.
And it's got photos. But we
Yep.
can go a step further. With DripJobs, you can actually automate that. So we have a system in DripJobs where you can have a label. You see the label on the cards? You ever see that?
Yep. Yep.
So you can have a label that says color consultant. Move the label, it'll send her a text message with that URL. So she can call and schedule them. That's what we do, right? That's
Gotcha.
now off our plate. I'll just change the label. Boom, Donna, you schedule it. Okay.
So as soon as I change that label, it shoots her a text.
You have to set up the automation in Zapier, but once you set it up, it works every time. We do that for our pressure washing contractor as well. So if we need a pressure wash done, boom, change the label. He gets a text message instantly with a new work order.
Boom.
That's
Okay.
that's a production workflow right there, bro.
Yeah, dude,
So
that's game
so
changer right
let's
there.
scale back. Let's go back a second. First of all, Jaden needs to get into DripJobs if he's your project manager. Okay, that's
Okay.
number 1. Okay, we gotta add him in there. Second thing is we need to install Slack. Slack is a game changer. It's gonna make your life easy. It's kinda like that connection point between DripJobs and your team where you can trigger things. So when you sell a job, guess what's gonna happen? It zaps into Slack to the production channel and says, "New job sold, Joe Smith. Address here. Work order here. Jaden, schedule it." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Automated, right? So he goes in Slack, boom, so that's a whole thing, and that exists, and that's what you need. So from the perspective of Jaden's responsibility, so colors need to be confirmed. Now, we got to think deeper. Once Jeannie goes in and does the color consultation, how does she get you the information of the colors?
Yeah, she doesn't. That's on left on the customer right now.
Right, it's left on the customer. How's the customer get it to you?
Just right in person, day start of the job.
Okay,
It's not
friction.
good.
Friction, right? So how do we solve this? You create a form. There's a ton of apps to do this. Jot form is the easiest. I can even give you mine. And all that is an interior form that says, where are the colors going? And they fill it out and then they upload the sheet. So does Jeannie give them a piece of paper that has the colors on it? Does she have that?
No.
Okay. Friction point. You need to make it and you need to give it to Jeannie and say, hey, this is the form we want you to fill out. Have them sign it. Okay. Because we don't want she said, he said stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Now they have the piece of paper. Now they can upload that paper or they can fill out a form individually. And I'm going to send you my forms later so you can see what it looks like.
Okay, 10-4.
Okay. So do you see how, like, what might look like a broad problem, you break it up. There's a lot of problems happening within that color experience.
Totally.
It's a
Yeah.
mess, right? So we need to fix that. We need to get to a point where in DripJobs, the customers given a automation after they sell the job, after you sell the job that says, would you like a color consultation? Yes or no? Yes, great. Go into DripJobs, change the label, boom, colors. Once they fill out the form, colors confirmed,
Yep.
right? That's an automation, and you can automate that deal movement in DripJobs, right? Colors confirmed. Now, Jaden can schedule it, or you could do it vice versa. You could schedule it first and then do colors. I do it first. I schedule it, and then we do the color thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
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 So at this point, that was a big friction point. That was that whole color thing. But now customers can easily submit. Now, just so you know, when they fill out that form, you can have it zap into Slack into that project. And now in the whole project, you got everything ready to go. Okay. So 3 changes right now. Got to get Slack, got to explore the label automations, got to
Yep.
add a colors confirm stage to your jobs pipeline, and you're going to want to set up jot form for those sheets. Okay. And then the reason why is because they're just links. So you can put those links in anything. Not everyone takes the color consultation that we sell jobs to. That's fine. But what we do is we email them and text them the link so they can fill it out themselves.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
So from an operational perspective, Durant, okay, as a business owner, you just got to understand what you're doing now is great. You have this one area you're like, I need some help. Thank you for reaching out. I'm hoping this is helpful. But this is how it's going to be forever, where you look at systems from the perspective of how can I make this better? Is it
Yep.
working? Sure. Is it perfect? No. Is there friction? No. And that's one thing that winds up happening with business owners is we get so busy and we just like, oh, that thing's working, but it's not working great. And it's
Yeah,
not
I just had so
Jade.
much pain. I had so much pain last year just running around doing all of that to where, like, right now I'm working with Aiden and we're trying to put all that in, but we're working on some different things right now. But this is something that, yeah, I know I got to get in place because it's just too much communication between me and Jaden all the time. Hey,
Yeah.
what's this? What's that? Right?
So
Like,
let's talk about what happens when you grow and Jaden's not on the job because I've been through this. I've been at it this 10 years. I only had drip jobs for 5 of them. So what did I do the other 5 years? Hey team, tomorrow we're starting here and this is what needs to be done. And blah, blah, blah. So how do you get your crew leader? Now I know it's Jaden, but how do they get the information on what's to be done and where to go?
all through Jaden or myself.
So Jaden gets the information once it goes to you and then he has to text them individually. Okay. So what winds up also happening, and just so you know, I don't think this is the case with you, but just be mindful of this because I had to work on this, is that we blame people for their inconsistencies, but they're
It's
working
all,
off they're working off a broken foundation.
yeah,
So it's
totally.
like, and you have maybe an A player who's not gonna complain and he's just gonna do what he's told, but then he winds up slipping and we're like, "Man, Jaden ain't that guy." Well, let's
Yeah.
see how Jaden operates with the right system. Then we can see if he's that guy or not.
Yep.
That's your job. So, with that said, one of the automations we have in our business is when we schedule that job, it automates into Slack and it sends the work order to the whole crew in one shot. And now the crew goes to Slack, open up the work order, sees the address, and GPS is there in the morning.
Yep. Yep. That was the Slack channel definitely was a plan, but I wasn't thinking about, like, zapping all of this in to make it easier for
Yeah,
me.
man, it just
Know
brings
what I
it
mean?
full it just brings it full circle. So those I think we covered a lot. I'll let you kinda tell me where you wanna head from here.
Yeah, so kinda what I was thinking, because what I'm worried about is, my sales calendar's filled up. I gotta go sell jobs to hit our goal. I'm confident in Jaden doing his job if I can get him the right information. What I'm not confident in is all of his communication for the little things, power washing, colors, scheduling, right? So my idea was to hire like an admin, almost like a production coordinator that basically tells Jaden, basically builds his schedule out for him, confirms colors, confirms power washing, and she's kind of in charge of that jobs pipeline where I can then take care of the sales pipeline.
Yeah,
Um,
these are administrative details, right? And I think you're thinking the right way. Invest in an office admin. That is a crucial piece of growth that, right now is the time to get that in place for sure. And
Because at first, I was talking with Aiden and went to the PCA, getting all this information from all these guys who were doing, got really nice businesses. And I'm thinking, dang, dude, Jaden's not the guy for this. He's not going to be able to handle all this. And then I got home and I kind of just sat down and started reflecting and like, how can I keep my nephew in this business as somebody who's going to, push forward? Because I know he's got it in him. I just know he's missing a couple detail
well,
pieces,
not
right?
everyone's
And I
skilled at
thought,
everything, bro. Like, and I think you're such a great leader in a sense that you are recognizing that and not expecting someone to fly if they're a fish,
totally,
you know?
exactly, right, and I gotta
So
just put him in a spot to where he could be successful. Not only that, feel like he's growing in the company, and so as I was sitting down reflecting, I'm like, "Dude, maybe I just get, like, a productions coordinator." You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I
Well,
thought
you're in the right framework, the right mindset. So Jaden actually, when he has 3 crews, the only things he should focus on is scheduling the job and working with the customer on the first day until project completion. He shouldn't have to worry about when and where it's being pressure washed, the colors, that is not his responsibility. You need someone in the field, um
so
Yeah.
that's kind of the plan. Yeah, sorry, I was getting a call, so it
Oh, you're
cut off.
good.
Yep. Cool, man. That's definitely something I wanna do is get an office admin to kinda just help that jobs pipeline to make sure that's clean and looks clear for Jaden, and then that way he could just do his job, appropriately.
Absolutely. Yeah, man, you need that office admin, man. And I wouldn't hire anyone overseas for that. I would have well, who's answering the phone right now?
Me.
Yeah, it's time.
Yeah. It's definitely to that time because, like, man, I'm just like I mean,
So
right? It's so hard.
what's stopping you from making that hire right now?
I feel like all my everything we just went over, that's like the whole business, right? Like there's so much to put in place. I don't want to hire somebody because first of all, it's like I can hire an office admin, but then it's like, okay, what does she do,
Check
right? I
this
got to
out,
put
Durant.
all this in.
Listen, Imma tell you something right now, okay? This is something I learned in business. You ready? Lock this in. You will not have as much motivation to get your stuff in order right now without the admin as you will when the freaking admin is coming,
Yeah.
right? So think through this with me real quick. When you had to only find a job for Durant,
Yeah.
was that a different mindset than when you had to keep nephew busy?
Totally, dude. Yeah.
Okay. Hire the admin
Okay.
because you're
Talk to
gonna
me a
get your
little bit more about why not overseas because that's something that a lot of people talk
communication
about.
is a trust builder. You need someone that communicates effectively, especially on the front lines.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to go cheap, but to me, this is a sales role. Why would
Yeah.
you go cheap on a sales role? You know, my admin speaks fluent English, is very personable, creates relationships on the phone. Now, could someone overseas do it? Sure, not as good.
Ten
For
four, dude. Hey,
for
I didn't need to hear that.
for 30 to 40K a year, you're gonna get your money's worth in customer satisfaction, effective communication, and maybe even upsells through just being a personable individual. There's so many stay-at-home moms that need a job, so you're serving a mother who needs a job in the country you live in, maybe even the state or the city, and they answer the phone. Start there. "Hey, I need you to answer the phone, and I need you to follow up with leads." That's it. So you're like, "Oh, I don't have all my systems in place." Add more responsibility once you get the systems in place,
Yeah, yeah. Got you.
you know?
Dude, I needed to hear that too, man, and, the way that you look at, like, just serving people is a huge inspiration, so
Oh, that's the only
eh,
way to look at it, because
love
that's
that.
the only motivation that's going to carry you through how hard this is gonna be going forward, is that you're doing it for your nephew, you're doing it for your admin, people are relying on you, and you're gonna figure out a way, you know?
Totally.
Selfish in nature is not a strong enough why to pursue hard things, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. I totally agree, man. And bringing my nephew in, he'll be here 1 year come April. I'll tell you, man, before that, like last winter, I was just taking on sub jobs. And then he came on, and man, that just definitely lit a fire of like, hey, we're done messing around with this. We're gonna do our own work, and I'm gonna make it happen for you. And so it's certainly important for me to help him build his career inside something that we build,
Amazing.
together, you know?
Yeah, it's a big deal.
So so cool, man. Yeah,
But
Slack.
I think what I want you to understand, I can hear the way you're thinking through this. Don't look at the obstacles, look at the result.
Yeah, yeah.
This might be a uncomfortable zone for you, these automations, the computer, Slack, but you're a resourceful individual. You'll figure it out.
No
But
doubt. Yeah.
this is what needs to happen. Don't delay on these hires. You gotta understand, you got probably 2 to 3 weeks of figuring out who's even gonna be eligible to be hired.
Yeah.
Then you gotta pray that you can make the right decision because that training time is gonna take effort.
So
So
let me
you
run this past you. Thinking about, admin, Jaden, his strengths, his weaknesses, am I better off going to search for a production manager that can just
no,
do all of this?
no, because
Yeah.
are you gonna have one crew forever?
No.
Okay, then. So what do you're looking for this unicorn hybrid, you want someone that focuses on administrative work. You're preparing to be a $2,000,000 company,
Yeah.
okay? Don't That's playing small, that's just trying to get a deal. You're not gonna get a deal, okay? It's not You're not gonna get somebody that's just versatile out of the gate, dude. It's just not
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
happen.
So,
Get a special Let someone just focus on administrative. There's enough work right now. Durant Foote should not be answering the phone,
yeah.
okay? What phone system do you have right now?
I need to sign up for open phone. I know that I need to put
Okay,
that in place.
do we have your cell phone as the business?
Yeah. Yep.
That needs to be done today. That needs to be done today. That's a major roadblock to you actually getting the admin because you can't what are you gonna do? Mail her your phone? Can't do that.
Yeah, yeah. Totally.
So
Totally.
let's get open phone going, right? It's gonna take that time to sit down and get this stuff in order.
No
Um,
doubt.
and then at that point, man, you'll be ready to go, but don't delay because you're growing, the market's reacting to you being such an awesome salesperson and just your energy. I know you're going to get there. It's just, do you want to get there easily or do you want to freaking struggle and then not know and not be able to replicate how you got there? That's one of the biggest issues in business is you'll hit 1.5 million, but you have no repeatable way of doing it again. So you got
Yeah,
to reinvent the
exactly,
wheel
dude.
this time. So you're at the right spot right now, making the right
And I
decision.
felt that last year, like, you know what I like, last year, shit, it was, like, October, and I pull up my numbers, and I just was like, "Dang, dude, like, this is real." But, man, it was painful, bro.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
And so
Now
that's
hitting
why
a million on your own is much different than hitting 1,000,000 without you involved,
yeah. Oh, totally.
right?
Totally.
It's
Yeah.
a totally different beast.
And, like, I really just, like, self-reflecting last year of, like, "Dang, dude, like, I don't like project management. I don't like scheduling. I don't I'm not good at it.
Sure.
I really need to set this up to where I'm in people's homes doing the estimates because that's where I can really push the needle forward, but I gotta put people in place to do the rest of it. I just have
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah,
to.
absolutely, man. 100%.
So, yeah, bro.
Anything else?
I think you laid it out pretty good for me, man. Just need to take action and get it done, really. because sales is not the problem. It's literally everything else we just talked about
Sure.
is real the pain points there. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Yeah. What's quality control look like? Is it mostly Jaden?
Jaden and then me. So I'll drop in. There are days where I don't drop in because I just can't. But he's got that down pretty good. He knows our standards and all of that stuff. So I
Is he
mean, he's
getting
pretty
jobs
good.
done on time?
Um, I'd say about 50%.
Okay. Yeah, something to focus on. Or it could be a pricing issue, it could be a sales issue, so that's always gonna be a balance. Um, you got,
Um,
how
talk
are
to
you
me. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
how are you setting up payroll?
I got a bookkeeper that does all that.
Okay, cool.
But he's getting fired actually because
Alright, switch to Gusto.
yeah, I saw that. I saw you posted that the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a 2 businesses on Gusto, and it's just easy.
And then is that just an admin role too? Plugging in
Everything.
payroll?
No, even and subs. Add your subs, they get a portal. It's way better than a local bookkeeper, it really is. They just make it easy.
Okay, love that. One thing that I just got reminded of, you I saw a video of you talking about production rates on how you just kinda use that as a guide.
Yeah.
Production rates for me on interior, I absolutely love it. For exterior, we've got a lot of peaks, just different things that doesn't make the measurements easy for me,
So
right? It's
we
just
eyeball
info.
it. So we create an average, right? So peaks, valleys. So we actually with production rates, what we'll do is dormers are individually priced. So that's an item that has hours assigned to it. Dormers, shutters, um, what else? Chimneys. We have an individual. So we're counting chimneys, counting dormers, counting shutters, counting doors. But what we actually do for the wall space, right, is we just take a linear measurement of each side. And then if there's peaks, we just kind of look at how high that peak is, say 20 feet. If there's like two peaks, we'll just kind of average it out and be like, okay, if the length of the entire perimeter is 200 and the height at its highest is 20 feet and at its lowest is 10 feet, we'll just take 200 and multiply it by 15. And then that's our wall space measurement.
Gotcha. Okay.
We do, yeah. I mean, like I've got that down where I love production rates for exteriors for that reason because we just eyeball it, and then we'll adjust the spread rate based on how difficult it is, or if it's like you need a lift, like all that slows down the production, so it should increase the price.
Totally, because that was a huge I mean, I can't tell you how much money I left on the table last year just based on me just shooting at the hip,
Yeah,
and so, like, my big focus right now is, like, getting my numbers
but
down.
I use them as a guide, right? So generally speaking, when it comes to exteriors, me and you could look at an exterior, and let's say it's a 2,000 square foot single story, okay? Soffits, fascia included, 3 doors. How long do you think that would take in terms of days?
About 2 days, 2.5 days.
Maybe so I would go 3, right? I'd say 3 days, okay?
Okay.
Me and you have different costs, and we have different crew members, right? You have 3 guys. Those 3 guys on average might cost you, let's say, $600 a day, okay? 6, 12, 18. So that's 1,800 bucks. That's what costs you to pay those guys to get the job done, okay? How about paint? How many gallons?
Gosh, 15.
Okay, so let's say $50 a gallon to keep it simple. That's 500 plus that's 750. Okay. So we have 6, 12, 18 plus 750 is, I don't know, eight. I'm getting too used to AI, man. I don't know how to do math.
Don't
Let's
ask me
just say,
about math either,
but let's
bro.
just say, let's say 2,500. Okay. So that's your costs all in, right? So what do you price the job at?
5,000.
Okay. Why? Because you tell me, break that down. Why?
Trying to hit the 50% gross
Okay.
margin,
So
yeah.
if I'm your customer and I'm in the house and you present it to me to 5,000 and I say I need to think about it, what do you do?
Go through my sales process, think about what, and just kinda go through,
What is it?
uh,
Tell me. I need to
objection
think
rate.
about it.
You need to think about it? What
Mhm.
exactly do you need to think about? Was there anything
Price
that I
is
didn't
it's just
cover?
a little out of my budget, man. It's just a little too high.
Oh, just a little bit? Where were you thinking this was gonna land at?
I need to be at about 4,000, man. That's what I was getting other quotes at. I like you, Durant. You seem like a great guy. I'm sure you have a great team, but it's I mean, the highest quote I've gotten was 4,500, and I really wanna get near 4 grand.
Let me ask you something, Tanner. As I was going through, did you feel like I was the most detailed guy? the most thorough guy looking through the whole house.
Yeah, without a doubt, man. You did a great job.
And another question I always like to ask, do you trust me?
I think so from what I
Yeah.
know.
Well, I like working with good people. I had a great time with you today, Tanner. I know that this project is important to you. I can't get all the way down to the 4,500, but there are a few things I can do to help you get to that price range.
Okay.
You got 10 doors included. We can maybe take out the ones that are in the back that maybe your guests aren't going to see every day. We can also change the grade of paint. I always just quote you at the highest grade of paint because that's just our company standard. Now, that being said, the other paints, they're great too. So I can lower the grade of paint. We could take out a few doors, and I'm right around that $4,500 range.
Yeah, man, but the competitors are using the same paint and they're not taking away doors. I kinda want the whole job done.
I totally understand, but I've got to tell you, you just admitted that I was the most detailed. And so that's the type of project I'm going to perform for you. Now, if price is really the only thing keeping you and I to doing work together, I really hate to walk away for $500. Is there a little bit of wiggle room on your end? Because I'm willing to drop it just a smidge to make this work with you and I. And the cool part is this is the first time you and I have met. I always do a same day discount, so I could do 4,700.
Okay, good job. So, the thing is that the reason I even went down that path was simply because, you know, any project above 35% is is a great job. Get it on the
Yeah.
schedule. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Totally.
so at the end of the day, production rates as a guide, it's just a guide, and it just makes it
Okay.
repeatable, right? So you're good at this naturally. I love your downsell. I love the angle you took, and really just getting that customer close and pulling out the emotion. You're a killer. Just know that, like, don't let price be your ego, man. Because I think I'm not saying you do. I'm just reminding you, is like, get as many jobs on your schedule as possible. Because what winds up happening is you hit a production capacity, right? So in other words, like if you're 4 weeks out, some people want their job done within 2 weeks. You
Yeah,
can't get
yeah.
to them anyway. So that's when you start either swinging for the fences or you get another crew. And that's when you know you need to grow, you know?
Totally. And I've got access to a bunch of painters. That just raised a great question. th- you know, 4,000 and 5,000. If I need the job, hey, I'm gonna take that.
Take it.
What is your thoughts on discounts? Because that's a pretty big
I
discount to
love
just be like,
discounts.
you know what, Tanner? Let's
Bro,
roll.
I discount 90% of my jobs because I price them high off the bat. It's all
Okay.
perceived value.
Yeah.
Everyone wants a deal. Some people take it's like a car dealership. Some people don't negotiate the price. They'll just say okay to whatever you write there. I worked in
Yeah.
car sales. Did you not work in car sales?
Yeah.
Okay. So you know that you have a couple different types of customers, right? Full pop, right? They'll take it, you know? And then you have customers that they want a deal in everything they buy, not just from Durant. They just need to get a deal.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
that guy, bro. I'm that customer. Dude, I need a deal for anything I buy
Yeah.
because I'm trained. I know that people would be willing to give me deals, and I'm not gonna be ask for a disrespectful number, but I'm gonna get a deal. Like I want to feel like I got a deal.
Yeah.
So
No, I totally get that.
is that not the vast majority of the people that you work with that feel like they
Totally.
need a deal?
Totally.
Okay,
And I
cool.
use that strategy
So
of like I'm here, but I go here. I
right.
always use like a same day discount.
Yeah, I love
Um,
that. That's money in the bank, that same day discount, you know? And I'll tell you this, man, like at the end of the day, like what you're doing is why you're successful because you recognize that and you don't shy away from the fact that like, bro, like people just want to feel like they're getting a deal. So you've
yeah.
recognized, am I the superior choice? Yeah, you are. You freaking using DripJobs, so your communication's been awesome. You're awesome. You're presentable. I trust you in my home. Okay. Now, if I can get a deal, I won. I want my customers to feel like they win, bro. Like,
Totally.
in all angles, it doesn't matter. So when I'm selling, I'm like, in my back of my head, I'm like, "What's my bottom line price?" I know that before I walk in because 'cause I'm ready
Yeah.
to give it to them. So if I'll
Yeah.
start at 55 and I'll be happy if I land at 45. I don't care because 'cause I'm not painting it. It's another job on my calendar, and I know if I stuff my schedule then I can just only sell jobs to the full pops because I'm not going to grow beyond 4 crews. So at the end of the day, I'm just sending full pop estimates out. Boom, boom, boom. And guess what winds up happening? Nature takes its course. They wind up grabbing them. And now my schedule is full with full pop jobs. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Supply
Yep.
and demand, bro.
Yep. Dude, love that. So you're cool with taking a 35% gross profit job?
Dude, I don't care. As long as it's above 35%, I don't care. I'm
Yeah.
not painting it.
Yeah, no, hey, that's a
I
great
don't have an
point.
I have no emotional attachment. What I have an emotional attachment to is making sure I never miss a paycheck.
Yep.
I'll take a job at 0 as long as my team gets paid.
Yeah, yeah.
0 if I have no work, bro, I'll freaking do the
Oh,
job.
totally. Dude, that's the winter game here. It's like I didn't make any money this
Whatever
winter,
you
but
gotta do to make sure your team is busy, you do it. So
yeah.
one of the things you said was, "Well, we're in winter and I don't have the sub crew." Maybe it's because you're playing small with your pricing and you're not freaking thinking like supply and demand because I would think if you have a good sub crew, someone else is out there that wants your sub crew and they're just going to be loyal to whoever has the work. So you need to be a marketing and sales company and they come to you for the leads. And think of it like this, not only are they coming to you for the leads, they actually perform the work for you. So you're a lead generation company that sells the job.
Yeah,
That's the mindset. And then you
totally, dude.
manage the job and you handle all the business stuff and they come to you because they get treated well. You pay them on time, you respect them, and you always have work. And that's because you're not emotionally tied to your price.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I love that, dude. I really do. I think that's incredible.
Cool,
And I
man.
got a really good opportunity to work with some really great subcontractors who were with a different company that weren't providing
Right.
everything
But
that
one
you
of the
said.
problems is that what are they doing right now?
Yeah, not working very much.
And why not? And I think it's because you only have one crew. So how many jobs are on your schedule right now?
For winter work, I've got the next 2 weeks booked, and then we should be outside. And I'm booked all the way through April already with exteriors. So I've already got subs set up for April to
Okay, cool.
start exterior.
Good deal. Yeah, I mean, I would just, just double down on that. I mean, what's expected this year. So just one of your goals is should be like next year, try to keep a sub crew busy throughout winter.
Yeah,
Your best
yeah,
sub crew. They need to provide for their families too. They're still humans. They're probably stressed out around winter. And if you're having trouble, imagine what they're going through because they're not sales and marketing. You know what I'm saying, dude? Like, so again, man, I think one thing that I just got around is like, dude, you know what? I want to give people, I want people to feel like they're getting a good deal. I don't care, you know, about hitting a certain margin as long as it's a profitable project. On to the next one, you know.
yeah. Just a oiled machine, just freaking pumping them out,
And
dude.
all we
At the
do
end of
is
the day,
out,
if you're pumping
bro,
them out,
pumping
what's
them out.
fifty percent and 35%? It's like screw it, dude. Let's
Screw
roll.
it,
I
make it.
love that, bro.
Yeah.
I
I'd
love that,
rather
bro.
make see, one of the things that winds up happening though with you, because you have one crew, is that that's your only profit. So, like,
Yeah,
you do need to freaking cover the coaching, you gotta cover the marketing, you gotta cover whatever expenses you have, and you have to cover the payroll, and you gotta make money. So how much can you really squeeze out of that orange, bro? So,
yeah.
it's like, I understand that's where the
Pretty
second crew
dry, bro. Yeah,
I know it is, it has to be, but
yeah,
that's okay. You need another crew that can absorb some of that overhead. So now they're both sharing. Now, so when I have 4 crews, it's like boom, 2,000 profit, 2,000 profit, 2,000 profit, 2,000 8 grand profit. If one hits 1,000 profit one week, I don't care.
yeah,
The volume in this business is actually going to be what saves you because and so it's not really a matter of like, should I? If I don't do this, I'm just going to not have any money.
yeah, yeah,
You're giving it
yeah,
all out. You're spreading it all out, and one crew is producing all the widgets. So they're like, and that sometimes creates unnecessary, unfair pressure on that crew. By the way, just so you know,
totally, 100%, dude. No doubt. Like, what do you think? I'm on the phone with Jaden, like, hey, bro, let's go, man. We got to get to the next job.
right?
Like,
But you gotta take ownership. That's your fault.
yeah,
It's not his fault. It's not his one. If I put the pressure of one crew in my business to freaking handle my profit, my salary, all the overhead, that's not fair to them. It's not their job.
no, yeah,
That's my fault because I didn't install another crew to absorb the overhead.
yep. I totally agree. I totally agree. We're coming up on a big year, and so talks like this
But
really
dude, it's
help me
up
get
to
see the
you,
vision.
Durant. You gotta understand, man, like, just so you know, mindset shift here. There's companies that are surviving right now that are doing what you're doing, and they're thriving right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Why aren't you? You gotta pull these levers now. Get this administrative stuff out of the way, hire an admin, reach into the savings, bro. You're an investor into your business right now. You're an investor. You had barely any startup cost. Might I remind you that if you wanna start a smoothie shop, it's 100K just to get in the door, okay? What'd you spend? Under
Yeah.
10? Okay?
Oh,
So,
yeah, definitely.
reach into the savings and invest into this business. Get the admin. Don't worry about the cost, man. Don't think if you start thinking cost first, it's gonna alter your judgment. And as a business owner, we can't think cost, we gotta think value. It's a
Yeah,
different mindset than when you were painting and you were getting that
totally,
paycheck. It was, "What does everything cost? What does everything cost? What does everything" now it's, "How much do I need to spend in order to get a return?" Everything you spend in your business should return something. So your admin should either return in value, whether that's your time or an enhanced experience for your customers, which translates to more jobs.
totally. Yeah, and that's the big one. Yeah, making sure my customers are taken care of for sure. Yeah,
So sell your jobs lower. Try if you get some interiors, the next interior you get, call your sub crew, your best one. Start getting them. Start getting some revenue coming in from another source. Sell your sub jobs for 35%.
yeah, that's
If
where I'm
you're having no problem with sales, then you have no reason not to get that second crew rolling, dude.
yeah,
Especially
yeah.
if you know 'em. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. No, I'm with you, dude.
Cool. All right, man. I gave you a lot. I think this is good. I think you should digest some of this. Was it helpful?
Super, dude. Absolutely.
All
I
right.
appreciate your time.
You're welcome, bro. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and stop this. Thank you, bro. Um,